All right, how are you doing? My name is Franklin Cruz. I'm a real estate investor and real estate developer. I make these videos so number one, you guys don't get scammed by somebody who is not in the business. There's a lot of people that talk about being in the business, and there's another thing of people actually being in the business. So let's get started. So the very first one I'm gonna go into is property sellers. What are the top 25 questions that I've heard? Now, after talking to and actually after having over 100 face-to-face transactions with property sellers, as you can see right here, this is what I call pre-beard Franklin and after beard, right? And now beard. And just food for thought. For a long time, I didn't even know I could grow a beard until my son brought it up. And he's like, dude, Dad, why don't you just grow a beard? And I was like, I don't even know if I can grow one. And then boom, it happened. So anyway, so all these sellers that you see, and there's a lot more, but we're going to go over what are the top 25 questions home sellers ask whenever selling their property, if it needs repair or if they just need to sell quickly. What are those questions? And I'm going to answer all of them today in this episode. So let's do this. Okay, so first, who am I, right? So my name is Franklin Cruz, military veteran. Very blessed, had a street named after me after the development that I sold to KB Homes for $1.25 million. First property and was 7187 Cruise Court. They named it after my family, Cruise Court in Lakeland, Florida. You can look it up if you want. I've been on the front page of the newspaper before on several developments that I've been a part of. Very blessed for that. But now, you know me, let's get started. So first question is this: understanding your property's value and selling options. Okay. So how do I determine my home's market value if it needs repair? Great question. I'm going to answer it. So the very first thing is you need to understand, how do you establish property value? So how is that actually established? So the very first thing is, if you see right here, you've got to look at what was the year built of your property. So if it was built in 1950, the comps are going to be comparables of properties that sold in your area. It's got to be 5 years up, 5 years newer, or 5 years down. I call it 5 years up or 5 years down, right? And then it's got to be similar in square footage. And then it's got to be similar in style, similar in upgrades, meaning is your property upgraded? Does it have brand new kitchen cabinets? Does it have brand new roof? Does it have brand new vanities, brand new flooring? Or is it a downgrade? Does it have an old roof? Does it have old kitchen cabinets? Does it need some love, right? You don't know. And then you take all of these line items, you mix it together, and then you've got to find the properties that have sold within the last 6 months. So you take all this, and then it's got to be the properties that have sold within the last 6 months. Sometimes you can go out to a year. And at the end of the day, that's the definition. And then you get a value. And then that's the definition of an appraisal, is an opinion of all of these items factored into one, and then they come up with, boom, here's your value. So now we know this is how they establish what value is and how do you create property value, okay? All right, so hopefully this is helping you guys are getting something out of this. So the other thing is, should I fix my home before selling it or sell it as is? That's a great question. So first of all, it really depends on your goals. Do you need money right now? Do you need to wait? What is it that you need right now? Do you need to fix up the property? Look, if you can fix up the property and you have experience on fixing up a property, just remember what comes with fixing a property is a lot of work. It's not a little bit, right? So it can also be something that could be an uphill challenge. So if you've never hired a contractor, if you've never dealt with contractors, if you don't know what tools to use, if you're not handy, if you're not doing it of code, you can actually screw up your house. You could take out that kitchen cabinet or vanity and mess something up. I would rather, a lot of times, just sell it as is to what I would call a true investor. That means somebody who's going to the property and evaluating it, and then you could move forward. But again, it all matters your financial goals. How quickly do you want to sell it? Also, do you have experience in rehabbing? Because if not, it could be super time consuming. Or you could sell it again to a true investor, and then you could just sell it quickly, in, out, done, right? So hopefully that answers the question. The other thing is, what's the biggest challenge that I see when selling a fixer-upper? So what are the biggest challenges? Well, let's go over that. When you're selling a fixer-upper, it's an uphill battle. You know, Buyers often, like myself, or if I'm a cash buyer, it's different. But if you've got a fixer-upper and then you got somebody that wants to buy it, who's not an investor, that means they have to get a mortgage. They have to get financing. And if your property needs work, if it needs a new roof, if it needs new flooring, the plumbing's messed up, they can't get the mortgage. The mortgage company won't allow it because the insurance company won't allow it. It's uninsurable if it has a bad roof. So now either you're going to pay for it and you're going to fix all these things, which can up the cost dramatically, or not. Totally up to you. The traditional way is not going to work though, because it's going to take a lot of time and you got to fix it. You may have to sell it to somebody like myself, a true investor, speed up the process, in, out. You sell your property, any kind of condition, because I don't care. I've got cash, right? And I understand what's going on. Or we could do a creative deal, right? Still get you some money to move out and then work out a situation that you could still make money whenever we sell the property. Every scenario is completely different. It all matters. What do we work out that it's a win-win-win scenario all the way around, okay? So then the next one. How much will it cost me to sell my home in its current condition? All right, so whenever you're selling a property, you've got cost or closing costs, agent fees, and any kind of potential repair costs, right? That could range anywhere from, sometimes I would say that can go from, let's say, 10% of your costs. Sorry, go from here to here. That could be 10% of the total cost, so 6% commissions, 1.6% when it comes to closing costs and taxes, and then any kind of repairs. Let's say it's 10% or more. So it can cost you a chunk of revenue that you thought were going to be profit, that now you're going to sell it because you're choosing a traditional route. Or an easier and faster route is selling it to a true investor, or an investor that actually goes to the property, inspects the property, analyzes the property, and then gives you a proper, fair offer that you guys agree upon. And then you could sell it that way, because now you don't have any fees. So for us, it's net, meaning whatever we agree upon, if we agree upon, hey, you're going to walk away with X and that's it, then that's what you're walking away with, X, and that's it. Okay? All right, perfect. Let's go to the next one. So can I sell my home if it has a major issue like foundation problems, water damage, or termites, right? I thought this picture was great. So first of all, you could sell your home in any kind of condition. It doesn't really matter. It all matters, are you being realistic with how much the property is worth? That's the question. So yes, I specialize in buying homes and land and all types of conditions. I've bought what I call brownfield pieces of land, meaning it had contamination issues. I bought foundation issues. I've bought roofing issues. I bought properties that were falling apart and falling down issues, everything. We assess it, and then what we do is we just come up with a fair, true, fast offer, like something that's fair, that works for everybody. We even show you what the comps are, what the true value is, minus all of the costs that we have into the property. So that's what's coming up as well. So if you don't want to repair the property, then that's probably your best bet. Now, if you want to risk it and you fix it, you may be above cost just because you haven't done this before. If you're super experienced, fantastic, you should do it. Probably you could save on cost. But if you don't do this for a living, my recommendation is don't go that route, because you could possibly make more money selling it to somebody like myself, or somebody who's a true investor or a true developer, meaning somebody who's really in the field, than you would selling as somebody who's just making you an offer over the phone. Tell me what question or answer that really stood out for you the most. Where did you get educated on? What was it that kind of came up for you during the scenario that you're like, Franklin, this was awesome. Thanks so much for just your time listening, and we'll meet you on the other side. All right, bye.